Hello. So we're back again, Linda and me. We're working on our stuff here. So it's
Hello, Lord Forth and Agamag. I could never say your name.
Anghammerand.
Ang Anghamarand. Blah,
Yep.
blah, blah.
Yep. I hope
I
it
have.
works. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have we have a little bit of occasional red warnings here, but we have about 7% dropped frames. So it's every 15 seconds there's like a second or two we have an issue, and then it's back again. So hopefully it's not terrible, that it works. And Linda, what are you working on today? That looks kind of
I am working on making spindles for my
okay.
houses and builds that I work on.
Ah, okay. So
So
it's like
that's,
yeah, little details for stairs and all sorts
yep,
of stuff. Yep,
like
yep.
banisters,
Mhm.
stairs,
Yep.
like stone columns, that kind of thing. Just something I need to work on for pieces and parts that I can use to build other items.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Cool. Yeah, I'm working on my shield lens area, and I've decided now after a week of trial and error here to work on 8K and 8000 by 8000 pixel at the time, so to speak. That way it gets very manageable. And now I'm actually working on an area I've actually worked on before, and I'm just trying to match it in with the rest, and that is actually more work than work on pure new stuff, so to speak. So I had to, but I've done almost all of that import work. So now I'm actually starting to add. So I have an area here that is my favorite with Aldit and Dillard, and I'm going back because this is the area that is the most developed in the new version of, or the new generation of Greyhawk maps. And here I actually have a new bit here and the old bit there, and I'm getting the transition between new and old here is is kind of 90% there. So I'm getting there. So um it's getting
hello,
close.
Justinius. How are you?
Hello, good to see you again. Good to have you here.
Mhm. Let's see.
Yeah,
Atlas
so you're
and
working. Yeah, I'm going to work. I'm working on my coastlines here. So now I'm going to. Oops. There we go. I need to have the right thing here. So scattering and some texture, and I need a cough drop here to get started. Oh, cool! That's awesome. Game prep. It's good. Yep.
game prep is always good thing.
Mhm. And I need to do game prep
That
because
is.
we're playing on Sunday, so I know what I need to do
Oh, we
tomorrow.
are? I
Aren't
thought
we?
we weren't playing till next week.
Okay, then we don't play on Sunday then. Okay.
Well, I can't be there, so
Okay,
I
then we
thought,
then we probably don't play on Sunday.
yeah.
We decide
Mm-hmm,
on tomorrow then. So then we can't be
mm-hmm.
sure. Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, then we
Yeah,
play next week.
because
Yeah. Mhm.
I understood that I missed last week because of
Yeah.
the tooth issues
Yeah,
and stuff, and then
yeah, we said
we,
we were going to try. We didn't
yeah,
set it in
yeah.
stone. So okay. So then we
So
yeah.
if we can do back to our regular schedule, it'd
Mhm.
be great.
Yeah, then we go back to our regular schedule then. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, because it gets really tough to keep switching days and stuff because
Oh
I
yeah.
usually try and
Mhm.
see my family on the weekends I can.
Yep. That's a good point. Gives me a whole week of extra prep. Good.
Well, it's
Not that I
just
will use much of it, but I will use a little bit of it. So.
well, it's just, I don't get to see mom very often, so I'd
Mhm.
like to
I
see her when I can. So,
totally get that. So yeah.
of course you would because you don't get to see your mom hardly at all.
No, I'm
So,
going to. She will come over and kill me if I don't come and visit her this summer. So yep. It is really.
definitely need to go see her this summer.
Mhm. Yep. That's the plan, and I will desperately trying to make it happen. So
Nice.
15%. It all of a sudden it feels like even 15% is too much. Now I'm going to try and this is really tricky to make beaches like this. It's super difficult.
Mine is tricky too because I'm working from a blurry photograph,
Mhm.
so it's not easy to always get the right shape.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I want to work in 8K because I can make hello Mike von Malku. Yep, so I can
Hmm.
actually make duplicates of layers and have tons of extra layers and then put them together because my computer can easily handle 8K. I actually have the big files open in the background here too. So now I'm going to disable the layer mask here and I'm going to change the blend modes and work with this layer to see what we can do here. That is probably more like it.
Oh, come on. Be nice to me.
Maybe that is something to
Ugh, not Windows. Get off my screen, Windows.
that, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, this is hard to choose which that is really hard to choose the blend mode to work with here. Yep, so now I want to normal. No.
All right. Back to.
I want something that the blue is kind of coloring it over, so to speak. So something in like this is probably.
Hmm. Turns out their drawing is crooked.
Okay, there you
It,
go. Yeah,
yeah, it's like off
you
center from here on up.
you can easily
Hmm.
get away with that when it's on the
Yeah, it's like, okay,
app.
um, sure, we'll make it work. Extrude X scale, make it smaller, and extrude Z. It's a little too big yet. So back up,
I think that is probably something that might work. So
scale
I'm going to
down to
delete the layer mask and then I have it
there.
locked and I'm going to do this. And now I'm going to try this one and then I'm going to rename that one
Z,
beach.
extrude Z, scale.
And now I'm going to
Hello, Cannibal. Hello, Lord Gazumba.
hello Jay. Yep, we are working again here. So
Trying to work anyway.
yeah,
It's
exactly. I'm trying to get my
mine's being really strange. The drawing is hard to tell what they did, so
mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, so extrude
And I'm painting on
again.
the wrong layer again. So that's the here we go.
Scale out
Now I'm
to about
using
there.
there we go. That
Uh,
much better. Now I just need to make
scale
sure I have a brush that is
there. And then we're gonna go extrude Z all the way to the top and scale it down.
this is kind of
Okay, it kind of looks nice, kind of, sort of.
this is very weird. I don't they all seem to be very hard brushes and not soft. That is not
Hmm.
what I'm after, so hmm. All of a sudden that is very weird. Normally I have 5% hardness and I should have 0% hardness. Okay, so let's do this and then bringing down the hardness. There we go. Okay, that is not too bad. That's better. Okay, now I just need to do this and paint them away again. So now I just need to that is probably more like it. Yep, I think I got it here. 10-12%. I can probably have a little bit bigger even here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now I need to blend these two together.
Mm-hmm. And I should probably go down to like 5%. Just have a, yep, just making sure that there's a little bit of an area that we don't get that dark water right away, so there's a little bit of transition. And I'm doing this on a separate layer because it's something I want to be able to turn off if I screw it up. I don't want to, so I'm painting it using a mask, so if I don't happy I can just paint black and it will go away.
Sorry, I'm focusing on trying to figure out how I'm going to put this together
Oh
in
yeah, I'm
one
just trying
one
to
object.
explain to people who might watch this afterwards what I'm doing. So non-destructive editing is really important in stuff like this. You can just turn it off, and that way you can add or remove it as needed.
Okay, there we go. And now cuts. Oh, come on, behave yourself. Delete face and
And since I have like millions of square miles to do eventually, that means that I can't spend forever doing this. So it has to be a little bit of, I still want to sit and paint the prettiest picture ever, but it has to be somewhat of an industrial process too, because it needs to get done, so to speak. So
hmm?
this needs to be,
You have to have a workflow.
yeah, exactly. I have to have a workflow so it actually gets done, because otherwise I will sit here and work like a month on each of these, but that's beyond what I should do. Now I should also paint in. I have this sand layer here that I can actually add even more, and I should remember to always go into 100% when I'm doing this here. So there we go.
I'm just blending a square and a round object, so it's
Mm-hmm.
one of those things into one
Yep.
nice clean mesh.
Yep. The other way of doing this is to simply take all the texture in Camera Raw and make a new version that is that bright kind of uh, um, the end result you want over the whole picture, and then just paint that in too. I'm not really sure which is the best. No, I should probably do beach here, but here no. Just
I was
yeah,
doing something with a Photoshop last week and I accidentally turned on camera raw and I went, what the hell is that?
yeah. It's the most
I had
usable
no clue.
filter in the whole
I
whole
had never used it before though, so I was like, what did I just do?
yeah.
You know?
It's really neat filter that can do magic, so to speak. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Okay, object, shade smooth. There we go. Um, Problem is I have funky shadows going on.
Okay,
What
yeah.
am I doing here? Let's see. All turn on face orientation. Aha, that's why. Alt in, recalculate outside.
I'm
There
going
we
to see if
go.
I
Now
can
we got bright
introduce
shadows.
texture.
And we're gonna do that and sharpen that edge. Okay,
I'm just gonna test and see here.
do that so my texture doesn't stretch. Otherwise, it'll make a mess. Then we're gonna do that and where is it?
No,
Vertices.
that didn't work, so skip the texture.
Where's my grid fill?
There we
Edges.
go. That's better.
Edge lips. Edges.
Hang on a second, can I?
Fill.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
sand I'm
don't
working with
want
now. Okay.
that. I want to
Hang on a second.
extrude scale and all right, merge at center. There we go.
I should
Make
probably
sure that edge
increase it
stays
to
sharp.
9% here. So there we go. That's a little bit more. That's a lot faster.
Face orientation off and view. Where is it?
I can never be satisfied with satisfied with the opacity here. So I'm doing like 5%. Oh, it's not enough, so I put 9%. Oh, that's way too much. So now put it to 6 and see. It's like, yeah.
Well, for once, it's you having the frog instead of me.
Oh yeah, I have often have terrible frogs when I'm doing stuff like this. So yeah, but it's
Okay.
getting there. Yeah.
All right. One spindle down. There's only like 14 more to go that I want to
Mm-hmm.
do. Save.
Then we put this in here. The other tips is to work at 100% when you do stuff like this. Is to work at 100% resolution. And then just pan around the map instead. And now
Mm-hmm.
do a smaller one here and fill in these gaps closer to shore here.
Let's see, I'm gonna do
There we go.
this. I guess I'll just go down the line and do these. Shift A, bring in a cube, scale it way down.
Okay, we have a couple of bogs, a couple of little lake bits here. I'm going to fill in these and make them. We have a. Did I have a flat mask? There we have a flat mask. So I'm going to normal and I'm going to select the flat mask. I select color range. and turn that off. And now I can just paint over these lakes here and turn them into bogs. Oh, I need to up my... There we go.
That's gonna be good enough, I believe.
Yeah. There we go. Now I can deselect here and see what we have left. I have these things here, so I can go in here and just paint over these bits here. There we go. Select, paint over these little bits there. I can turn off my marching ants so I can see it a bit better. And now it's actually starting to look kind of nice. I think those trees over there looks kind of funky, but what the heck? I can let them be. Here we have a couple of paint over these bits here too. Muddy bits there. There we go. Those trees, I need to fix the trees there that don't look that good, so I need to fix them. And I'm fairly happy since these are my first areas that I'm working with, so in that sense these are my prototype areas, and they are kind of, if they look this okay, I can live with it. I can go back when I've learned. I should not try and over invent everything right away. If they're just more than good enough, I'm okay with it.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's better than what I could do. I
Thank
have
you. Yeah,
very little skill in Photoshop.
yeah, but this is tedious, but it's, yeah, but it's not impossibly difficult. You just have to figure out what each step should be, so to speak. That's the tricky bit. Okay. Now I think we're almost done. We need to figure out some. There's no trees on this end here, so we need to do the beach bit here. We need to add some more beach there. So I'm going to save here.
Wrong button. Oh,
Then I'm going to work on the. First, I'm going to do the sand here. Do I have a beach brush? Beach? No, I have no beach. Then we have to invent the.
invent the wheel.
Yeah, there we go. And invent the wheel. Start with the 17 and see. Yeah, it's kind of. kind of works. There we go. And I have an ocean, I think, but I'm going to skip that and hand wing this, because the good thing with the beach is that it can also go up towards land. So I can just, here I'll actually work with more than 100% resolution, because now I really wants to get into the weeds and do this
Hmm?
and figure out here. And 17 is not good enough, so 35 maybe. That is better. Yep, that's more like it. Can probably have a little bit
All
bigger brush even.
right.
Yep, here we go. This is the one I want. Yep, perfect. This is effect good enough, and then I can kind of add more out here. Hmm. Ah, now I know why I have the I need to deselect. I was like, there we go. That is better. You see, when you turn off the marching ants, then you have problems, because you forget that you have things selected. Oh, thank you, Troy. Awesome, Cannibal, wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, oh, and I see a lurker in here, Claire P89 thing. Hello.
Oh, awesome. Welcome. Yep, we're working on mapping here. I'm mapping part of Shieldlands, and
Subdivide.
Linda is working on some little details for
I call them
interior
spindles, but I don't
spindles.
know what if they're banister. No, they're not banisters. I don't know what the official term is on them for. I call them spindles.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And
And right now I'm working on figuring out the or touching up the beaches here. So I'm adding a little bit more detail, because it's kind of when you get
and
some, yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say lurking is 100% fine.
Oh
However,
yes,
you know,
definitely. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, we have
I
yeah,
didn't.
we have Jay is lurking here too. So yep, that's good.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, a lot when you get it out of World Machine, you get a lot of coastlines that just looks like this. There's no detail, no. It's just it's a bit boring. So that means that I need to go in here, and now I need to just take a peek here and see the flat mask is like that. So I can't go in too much. I need to add the coastline primarily in the water here, but I just want to break up that smooth line like that with a little bit of added detail like that. So there we go. And now I can go in here and just add a little bit, take off the texture. A lot of people have predefined brushes for everything. I have a difficulty finding them when I do them. So I usually just tweak the brushes I want when when I need them, and then forget about them. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's my issue, is that
Yeah, because there's people that have brush packs and everything else out there, and
well,
it's like,
I've done hundreds of brushes and saved them, but every time I need them, I don't find the right one, and I still need to tweak it. So that way, I've learned to tweak them on the go. That's been
mm-hmm.
my MO, so to speak, when I'm doing this, is that I'm just
Face. All
inventing the wheel
right.
every time, which is probably not the optimal. But if I have to spend 5 minutes uh, figuring it out, then it feels like then I can actually just do it anyway, so to speak. Now I'm just painting over these little ugly bits here. So
But I don't think it's going to be an issue for you because, you know what you're looking for.
yeah, and also sometimes I find new cool effects, and that way I make sure that things don't look the same. That there's like a lot of natural variety, because I'm actually changing the brush over from other areas, so from
Mm-hmm.
one area to the next. So this actually doesn't look that bad at all. This is okay. So now that part is done. The coastline is done. So now I can actually add some trees to this little bit here on the right that doesn't have any trees. So now there should be a tree max mask, which is pretty much everywhere. So I should just go in, and first of all I should adjust the max because there's a thing here. I should fix that bit here. There we go.
Let's see, where is my show cavity button? I can never remember where that darn button's at.
Yep. Okay, now I can go in here and use this one and select color range.
Yeah.
There we go.
There, now I can see my shading better.
And hopefully I had some here we have some forest. Come on here. Forests. Where forests? Where have I hidden my forest? There we are. There we go.
You don't want to hide them from yourself, do you?
Yeah, they put them in a group in a group, and then
Oh,
and so that then we're hidden. Okay, now I need to figure out. I need to go. Oh, there's something with Windows pencil tool here, and now I need to. There should be some forest. No, mapping brushes. Okay, we don't have that many. Okay, now I need to figure it out here. So we put some scattering, some texture in there. Mapping patterns. We put some patterns like that. And okay, now we need to increase the scale a bit here. There we go. And the texture. And now I'm working not with a brush, I'm working with the pen mode because I just want black and white. I want no trees either are there or they're not there. So that's why I'm working with the pen instead of the pen tool instead of the brush tool in Photoshop. And now I want to put some texture in here so I get a little bit of variation here. So there we go. This might be a
okay. And
something like that, and a little bit of depth jitter. Something like that might work. Yep. Now I go in here and I figure out first I'm going to put some. We have a possible little almost like a little creek here, so I'm going to put some. Oh, maybe it's
something's not joined here. It's giving me issues. What are you doing?
I'm going to. There we go.
Anna, Jay, how do you guys handle even level drain in first edition? Is it as rules as written? Get hit, can't talk tonight. Get hit, lose the level, or do you allow a save? Is question.
That is a good one because I'm thinking about how to handle that in my game now that using a version of 5e that is level up and so I'm kind of thinking about in the or when we played back in the first edition era, we just straight out every hit was. I don't think we had a save. I think it was just you lost a level. Period. It was very brutal. But now I'm actually thinking about doing it in my version of rules now that instead that you drain that you drain your maximum hit points. So you can't, even if you get heal, you can't heal up. So you lose, not only you take damage, you're also temporarily lowering your maximum hit point. And if your maximum hit points go down to 0, then you're dead and you will rise up as a white or a ghoul or something.
Oh, geez.
So that is it's I'm making it a sub a version of necrotic damage. It's life draining damage. So it's necrotic, which means that if you're immune to necrotic damage, you will either get a saving throw or you will not take anything. Resistance, you take half or something. So yeah. And yeah, I
Um,
think it's good. Yeah, so I think that depending on, just to get some more interesting variation, I think some of them can be stronger than others. So some of them can have like a save, some of them have a difficult save, some really nasty ones have no save at all. And I'm thinking about having that in 5e too. So some of them are yeah. So I think it's better to vary. So really nasty things like liches and stuff like that, I would have no save. If they hit, they drain, so to speak. And then you can, so it will be, yeah, so it will be kind of, I want to have it on a per monster basis, but I want the mechanics to work, have the same basic working, so to speak. Their life drain takes away your maximum hit points in my version, but how effective they are should vary from monster to monster.
we must both be really
Oh yeah,
concentrating hard. We're like,
yeah, I'm looking here. Like yeah, yeah, we sit here with gaping mouths, both of us, and kind of figuring out what the heck are we doing here. So yeah, that's the tricky bit here. Yeah, I'm painting in trees, and painting in trees is very important because you want every tree. I'm going to literally paint in billions of trees, tens of billions of trees, and I still feel like every tree needs to be in a specific part that is perfectly right, so to speak, and which is kind of, it's absolutely crazy in that sense. But yeah,
that
now
way.
I'm going to deselect here, and I'm actually going to
Okay.
paint these in.
Two down, 40 more to go.
And there should be a rivers. Don't I have a rivers here? No, I don't have a rivers. Okay,
Oops, where'd it go?
I should put a rivers. Do, 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 do. New layer, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to take river color, then I'm going to take that, and I'm going to fill this with, there we go, and I'm going to call it rivers. There we go, and I'm going to lock it, and then I'm going to give it a mask. Now I can go in here and I can paint in that little creek here.
Let's see. How am I going to do that? Which way? Which way? Which way?
There we go. I'm just gonna paint in a little tiny creek going here. So there we go. There we go. Perfect. This is the kind of world building I like to do. Putting in little trees and doing all sorts of little fun stuff here. So yeah. Now I'm.
I mean, you don't like always to kill your people? Sorry, that was a jab at our game because you love to kill us every time.
Yeah, but I think I like world building even more. Yep.
Okay, that's a good thing. That's a good
Yes.
thing that
Yep.
we distract you occasionally.
Oh yes. Yeah. I think I like world building even more than TPKs. Yep.
I have to say though, you haven't tried to kill us lately. So I
No,
have to say that.
I've been kind of good, but my what I love more than anything is when it comes to DMing is near TPKs are the most fun.
Hmm.
Like half TPKs when a couple no characters actually dying, but several of the characters are close to dying or it's starting to get nasty. You get that nerve kind of we can die kind of thing.
Hmm.
That's the critical bit. That's what I love. But the problem is that it's depending on what rules you're running and how harsh you are as a DM. It's very difficult to. It's like a. It's tough to be enough damage and danger in order to for it to get that nerve, but not so much that you get a TPK, and that is a really difficult sweet spot to stay in, so to speak. And you can't stay forever. You should not stay there for more than maybe 2 sessions tops.
Hmm.
And then you need to release. It's like in a movie. You can't have super action scenes for 2 hours. You need to have like 10 minutes, and then something else needs to happen, and so on. Otherwise, the games gets boring. So you need different pacing in your games. You need to have, and sometimes the players should lead, and they should be the one pushing for action or wanting things and stuff. And then occasionally, you as a DM should force action and force things to happen. So it should be a give and take. Sometimes the players need to be running, setting the tempo of the game, and sometimes you as a DM should step in or GM to step in and set the tempo. So it should be I think it should be a give and take, so to speak. Sometimes the GM is leading the game, sometimes the players are leading the game.
Yeah, that's true.
And it should naturally wander between the two. It should be a kind of a friendly tug of war over who gets the initiative to run the campaign, so to speak. So the players should always know that they can, no, we're going to run off in this damn direction no matter what, or something like that. So they should always know that that should be an option.
Yeah. Advice to new GMs, if there's any out there,
Hmm.
they'll do it every time. They'll go, you'll give them 1 through 12 and they'll go 13
Oh, yes,
every
yeah.
time.
And don't try to
Every
stop
time.
it too much.
Nope. Nope. Don't do it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the first thing that you and my buddy Chaz did when you played in my campaign. I gave you 1 through 12 and you went
Hmm.
13.
Oh,
It was
yes,
like,
oh, of
oh,
course. Yep. Hmm.
every time it was like, doggone it, trying to keep track of this. And I have 14 different storylines now open for you guys.
Yep.
Mm,
Uh,
wow, is that drawing crooked? I have
and
a feeling my original drawing is crooked.
yep. And here's one of the
I
benefits
think so.
of Photoshop is that since you have brush and use trees with the pencil, is that you can actually keep the two brushes separate. So you can, and that's bog. So I should not have that. Come on, I need to paint on the right layer here. So forest, come on, there we go, there we go. So I can actually paint in some trees here. And this is where I have a mask for the whole group. I have a mask that is set to, where the heck did I put that mask? Maybe I didn't put it. I didn't put it in. There is there is we have a tree maximum mask, but I didn't use it. So I have it just in case. So I can put it in if I want to. I can actually put in a mask if I. That's so I don't paint over lake, put trees out in lakes and rivers and stuff. But I chose not to have it, so I'm actually going to put them in manually. I love placing trees. It's one of the most fun bits of world map making like this. I just love to see these little trees pop in because they look so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I just love it. Yep. Now I'm going to reselect and I'm going to go to bogs again, shift to brush tool, and then paint that in. And hang on a second, that one looked so cool, so I'm going to go back here and paint it off so I get a little bit of a lake there. That looked perfect. And then now I'm going to put that back up and paint this in here. There we go. And a little bit there too. Maybe I can save that little lake in the middle there and deselect. We have a little mud and little pond among the trees. That's cool. Now I need to go in here again. Pencil, pencil tool, and then.
Oops, not what I need to do. Oh, let's back up one
And
step.
again, I'm still working with masks, so it's just white or black, so I can just paint the trees in or out as needed, or I can either paint them or delete them as needed. So there we go. And here we have more bogs, so I'm going to reselect, and I have the mask I have ready to reselect is the flat mask. So now I can just go in here and paint in these little bits here. There we go.
Okay.
Then I'm just gonna take a couple of, maybe put in a few little evergreen trees too. I have one layer for evergreen trees and one for deciduous trees. So that way I can separate them, so use different models if I want to put them in both for colors and height, but also in case this goes into Unreal or something, you can separate which ones you want to have pines and spruces and stuff, and which you want like things like oaks and
Mm-hmm.
and um, and other
A good
stuff.
plan to have because when you
Yep.
take it into Unreal, you have to know where you want to put stuff, especially if it's
Mm-hmm.
a specific thing like you're doing where it's already determined by your artwork is where it's the trees are.
Yep.
That's what you want to keep consistent. Um, because with Nargenstal, I didn't have to do that. It was like free reign because nobody had designed it before
Mm-hmm.
this. So,
Yep. And that's also why it's so good to have them on, not painting them as on the actual texture, but have them on a separate layer, because that way I can export the texture without the tree colors, and I also have a mask for the tree placements, so we
hmm
can import them into GIS or into Unreal or something and get the mask right, so the trees are actually exactly in the right spot even when you put them into a new tool. So that's why it's important to work with the base data, so to speak. So keep as much data as you can, because that way you can reuse it in different ways, and using different tools and stuff in the future.
yep, it's a challenge to keep up with stuff though,
Mm-hmm.
as far as technology and things. Ugh,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
what a nightmare to keep track of.
Yep. So I'm just adding, because this is mostly grassland, but I add a few little trees here and there just to. And this is so cool because here I have the mask is already, the max mask is already there. So I have, they only appear in certain things. So in a way, I'm going to take a big one and, oh, there we go. That was way too big. So yeah, now I'm going to remove them here. So there we go. And now I'm going to take some other trees, paint them in here.
In the world, delete.
Sorry about my throat. It's terrible. I haven't said anything to anybody all day, so that's probably why.
Yeah, it's just that season though too. You never
Mm-hmm.
know what you're gonna get.
That's true. It's the pollen and all sorts of
All
season.
right.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
And here we have a
Oh,
little bit of a river, so let's go in here and.
oops, when I join it to the right spot. Jeepers creepers. Oh, there and there.
So I'm going to go here and paint in this little thing here.
Layers Anna keeps track. Yeah, it says never mind technology. I can't get my head around how many layers Anna keeps track of when building her maps. I know, right?
Yeah,
I think it's bad when I have five.
yeah, I'm just adding them as needed. But I tend to group them from the bottom up. So let's take a look at the layers here.
Yeah,
So
switch to your stuff so they can see it.
uh, uh, good idea. Good idea here. So sources and move my up. There we go. So on the layer bit here, let me save while I'm doing this so I don't lose it. So there we go. So at the bottom here, I have the the base texture, so to speak, that is taken from World Machine. I have at the bottom, and above them I have the add-on textures, things like bogs, wetlands, marshes, sand, reeds, and things like that that you paint on top of it, so to speak. And then I have a couple of layers with farmlands that I can paint in a basic texture that I render as an alternate texture for areas where I want fields and stuff like that. So civilization layer. And then I have the extra rivers that I can, just like I did there, I can paint in little creeks and stuff. I have that there. And that's when you have now I know this landscape because I've stared at this for hundreds of hours. So otherwise I need to use I have a special mask they come up here where I have tributaries where I can actually see where World Machines suggest there could be a river, so rivers actually go downhill and all that stuff. So that's rivers. Then after that I have the civilization layers. I have the layers for civilization, so that means that I have the here is one that is just I did a texture of little rooftops for like a medieval city. And then I have roads, and then I have a little adjustment for the colors of roads, and then I have burned, that is areas that have been burnt down, so buildings and stuff or land that has been burnt. And this is for things like boardwalks, like bridges and harbor piers and stuff like that that are wooden boardwalks kind of thing that I can put up. So that's my civilization layer. So if we look at the city down here, like Dellard, and I have all the civilization on one layer, so I can remove that separately. Here we see the areas that I've used for as a base because I want to take away much of the greenery, so I actually painted that on the texture layer. And then I have the shading layer. Yep.
Sorry, Pete Bug goes, yep, you're proving my point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but
Yep.
anyway, so then I have the shading layer, and the shading layer is really cool. And I also realized that I need to put my forest beneath my shadows. Hang on a second here. So that was really smart. I need to put my forest beneath my. There we go. So I have my forest layers, and these are just a bunch of layers under the forest is a group. So here I have like the forest texture, like a green texture for the deciduous trees and another texture for the evergreen trees with some color tweaks. And I also have some layer effects like shading and bump maps and stuff like that to actually make them look bumpy. So if we look at them here, and that's 100%, we can zoom in to more than 100%, so you can see that they have some bumps and some shading and stuff in, so they actually look better. This is only for the Photoshop thing. If I put them into World Machine or Blender or something, I will just blend. I will remove all the layer effects and then just mesh them in or mix them in with a general texture, and then use the bump map in Blender and Unreal and stuff. So that's part of the whatever you. But if I want to use it just the Photoshop map, I use it like this. So I have both the masks and the layer effects. And then we have the shading, and the shading is really cool because if I turn off the shading, the map just looks flat like this. It's just a flat texture. And if I add the shading, you get the hill shading, and that uses it's basically just it's a gray map like this, and it's actually this. So it's just a gray, the light shining on the terrain. This is something that's generated in World Machine. And then I changed the blend mode from normal to hard light. There we go. hard light, and then I add a little bit more. I add an adjustment layer, a levels layers, because the so I get the right amount of contrast and brightness to the layer, so to speak. And here I can actually adjust how much light, and how deep the shadow should be. So you can kind of add light, you can make an area darker, or you can add more light to it. But this is the way you can do it, and that way you can paint under the shading, which is the brilliance in doing this. It took me some years to figure out how to do it, but you can actually paint under the shading, which is the brilliant
Hmm.
idea of it. And then on top here, I have a bunch of mask settings. So I have like the tree masks, buildings, roads, uh, and the sea mask, for instance. I have flat masks, and these are things so I can just select different attributes. I have a whole bunch of other masks saved that I've rendered in World Machine that I can import in and use as needed, so to speak. So now, Pete Bog, now I've kind of, I know this is ridiculous, but, and these layers tend to grow as I work, and then when I'm done, most of the layers can disappear, and will compress the layers down to only the layers I need at the end, so to speak. So
See,
so so the
to me,
layers tend to,
there's
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with having hundreds of layers because it's just one of those things. You're protecting yourself in the long run,
Yeah, it's so I
you know.
can just turn things on and off. And I also need to be able to save out different versions. I need versions for top down in Photoshop, like that I'm using in Albert Rodeo or something, or I
Hmm.
need something for GIS, or I need it for Unreal, or I need it for print, or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And I want to make a winter version of it, a summer version, a fall version, and that means that to have these masks and layers is really critical in order to quickly tweak it, so to speak, to make something else
Hmm.
out of it, so to speak. Okay, so now I have this area. So now I'm going to save it again because I've hopefully haven't screwed it up. No, I haven't. So now you're going to expand it down, I think, so I can make one, or yeah, I'll do it down just to get that done, that part of the coast, because that it's the most tricky bits, because I've actually used, no, I go west. Now I'm struggling here because I need, for my game I need to go, yeah, so let's go west here. So now I'm going to save this under a new name here. Save as, and I'm going to do 3, and yes, yeah.
I'd have to take off all of our shoes and socks to keep
Yeah,
track of this stuff
yeah. Well,
because
I do too at times, and
it's
it's
not good.
easy. Yeah, it's easy when you work with it. The problem comes if you're away from it for a year, and then you open up the file again, and then you stare at your 222 layers, and you kind of feels like it's staring into the abyss, and you're like, oh, and you start turning on and off and on and on and on and off in order to find it. And the scariest bit is that when you have a layer, you have a really big picture that is like an image that is like 20,000 pixels or something across, and there is a layer that is says something like signal this, or have some weird name like layer 22, and you turn it on and off and you see no difference, and you're like,
Ugh.
okay, what is on this layer, and you try to select it all and nothing. You realize that there are some pixels, but you have no idea where they are, and you don't know what they are. And then you come the risk. If I'm going to export this, should I have the layer on and risking to have like a pink little pixel sitting somewhere out in the terrain, or should I turn it off and then later on realize I missed something that I've added in, so to speak? So that has driven me crazy at times to try and figure out what. And the trick to do it is, what you do is that you turn off all the layers except that one, and then you give it a color overlay of super pink or red, and then you go over each part of the image at 100%, and that way you can figure out where the actual little pixel is hiding somewhere, so to speak. The content. That can take half an hour to figure that out. And then I figured out, oh, there was a bit of road that ended up on the wrong layer, or something I started and then forgot about or something. So, but because I've actually found like pink pixels sitting on the final map somewhere, and because I forgot to turn it off or something. So yeah.
Okay, you're being difficult, huh?
Yep.
Doggone uh, model's not being nice to me. It doesn't want to do what it's supposed to.
Yep. Okay, now I'm going to try and do the image canvas size. So I'm going to relative width. If I do this, no, that was the wrong. Undo canvas size and image canvas size. That way. 8192. Yes, it works. Okay. So what I've done now is that now I can expand and start working on the next area, and then when I have that done I can remove this bit and save it under a new name, so to speak. So now I'm going to try and figure things out here. So this is me working on for the first time on things here. So uh, so now I'm going to try here and oops, deselect. There we go. And now it's time to that one. And now I save this selection. And this selection is x5, y3. This is like doing algebra or something. You have to figure out so you know what area you're working with. And
So
this
it's
is,
kind of like Battleship.
yeah, but one of the things I love about my computer, I can have a file that is 64K in Photoshop open in the background, and it still works. I don't need to open it and close it. I can actually have it open in the background, and I'm so grateful for that because I can work so much faster if I don't have to I can actually keep things open here. So okay, so now I'm going in here and now I need to turn off all the shading layer here. Do I have some trees in here? That looks awfully green, but no, it's yeah, it looks like I got some trees in here. I need to see where the heck they come from. There they are. Okay. There are trees. So let's oh, that's the gotcha. That's the trees here. So there we go. There we go. Now I have the okay, I'm going to import rivers afterwards. So here I have the texture, so now I take the copy merge, and that will take a few seconds here. I haven't looked at the okay, we have 25% lost frames, so hopefully it works tonight. So I don't think it's
Seems to
terrible.
be running pretty smooth on the
Okay, good.
preview I have
Yep,
running, so
good. Yep. And now I can put yours on top because you're doing more interesting stuff than me, so we can go on you on top then.
oh, yeah, if I quit hitting the wrong keys, it's great.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm sorry my voice is terrible today, so yeah. And
I'm
this
just glad it's not me having the throat issues tonight. Usually it's me.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, now I saw something strange happening here. What was going on? No, it fixed itself. Okay.
Okay, there
Save.
we go. Now I can go in here and I can go in here and I can first I should do this and inverse selection and paste, and it should, oh yes, it fits perfectly. Good, good, good. There we go. And now I should go in and do the same thing here. Deselect. Now I go in here. That was the wrong one. That's the one. Now I need to find the shading here. Take that one. Copy that and go in here. Take that one and paste it
Let go.
in. Uh-oh. There we go. Normal and hard light. And then we take these two, merge them together, hopefully. That didn't work because one of them is locked, or hang on a second, wait, to turn that off. I should be able to. Why can't I merge these two? I should be able to merge these two.
What in the world did I do up here?
That is weird. Why can't I merge
Grr.
these?
Nakara Unini. What the hell? I merged something that wasn't supposed to be merged, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
So now I gotta fix it.
If they don't want you to only merge visible, then I only make these layers visible then. Merge visible. Ha! Yep, there's always a way around. Almost always. So now I choose hard light and now I turn on all the. Now I need to remember which layers I actually had on here. So there we go. Yeah, I think, and forest. There we go. I can hide forest for a bit because I'm not going to work with forests. So, and the reason I did it like this is because now I can tweak this new texture I put in until it matches the other one in color perfectly. And I can also go back and tweak the old one, so to speak, until I get a match. But there is something here that that was good. Okay. Now when I see it, I'm not sure that this might be a little bit too yellow in color. I'm not sure, but it's high summer, so maybe that could be more spring color, and this is more summer color. I'm going to tweak it for this, and then I'm going to retweak it at the end. Probably we'll see. I'll work with that for a little bit here, but you can actually go in here, and I should also probably paint that a little bit darker, but that's the good thing. Since I have both here, I can actually work on both, and then I can just cut it down and save over the old one. So, and then move on as I move one in each direction, so to speak, and then go back. Okay. Now I need to start thinking what I should do here. I need to first tweak this layer and get it tweaked. So I do use saturation and just do that one. And now I'm just gonna look at this area up here, and I'm just gonna keep adding this layer until the differences disappear. There we start having it, and now I'm just gonna blend it until it is that is pretty much it. There we go. It's there is a there are a few things here that needs to be tweaked, but that is marginal, so to speak. All of a sudden they look like they belong together. That's the idea. And this is so cool because this is the biggest part I've actually seen that is starting to be done. Yep, and it works.
Tedious error.
Yeah. Speaking of tedious errors, there's a lot of tedious stuff to work on this. So yeah. But this is world building. This comes the fun bit, because here you can actually go in and paint forests and do all sorts of fun stuff with this.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention when I merged something and it merged the wrong thing. Now I have to go back and
Uh-oh.
fix it.
Yeah.
It's like, doggone it. All right, I think I got it now. And there. Much better. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to save that bit there.
File. Save. All right.
Now there are some. Now I need to go in and import some other textures and stuff here. This, no, it's this one. I can skip this one now, I think. Hang on a second here. No, this one I need to have because I'm getting a lot of stuff from that one too. So yeah. Okay, so we got this one. Now I need to first go in and take rivers. Here we go. And I take to rivers. There we go. That is rivers. So I need to go in here and this is another trick. If you want to edit the mask and copy the mask, you alt click the mask in Photoshop. That way you go in. So like normally I can, if I click this, I can't select it, this one, and edit it, visibly edit it. So what I do is I hold down Alt, then I go in and work in the mask directly. Now I have this one selected. I can do and copy, and then I go in here and then I add another. I just add it in, and now I need to make sure that I have the right area selected. So I have that one, and I go up here and I paste it in, because now I have the, and then I freeze it. Now I can go in here and on the rivers I can actually go in and select the rivers here. There we go. I just need to, I should have added, I should have gone in here and added done the same thing for this one. Hang on a second here. Deselect. we go.
Hmm. Okay. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. File.
Now we go in here
Save.
again and then add this one. And hang on a second, I'll actually go into, can I, now comes the tricky bit. Can I select two masks at the same time here? If I shift click, that didn't do it. So, okay, that didn't do it. Okay, so then I'll take this bit here and go, and this is a little bit overkill here. So what I'm doing is that I'm going to, and then I'm going to select inverse select, and then I'm going to test and do paste into. Yes, it worked. No, it didn't work. Hang on a second. So now I hopefully can blend these two together. Merge layers. Yes. River mask. This is where you come in and do weird things in Photoshop. This is Photoshop, higher school Photoshop. This took years to figure out how to do this. And I'm still kind of a little bit wobbly here and there, but I'm getting there. So yeah.
And it's a different application that a lot of people do too. You know, you can do artwork one way, but when you're doing like mapping like that, it's a totally different application than some people have
Mm-hmm.
designed already in the past.
Yep.
Like you say, you're doing proving grounds a lot, trying to figure out what's the best way to do your landscape work.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't see very many people doing landscapes to the details you do. So,
No, I do a different thing, so to speak. So yeah,
mhm.
there we go. Now I just need to disable it and go in here, and I need to I need to take, there we go, and then I go in here, I just select that one, and then I fill it with the same color all over the place. And now I should have all the rivers, but there was a couple of that I painted in manually here, but they are already here, I think. Yes, they are, so I can delete the copy layer I did there. Delete that one. And now I can turn forests on. And we have rivers. Yep. We have river layers. Yep. We have rivers. Perfect. Fantastic. Yep. Okay, now I can save, because that was a major thing. I was kind of scared of screwing up there, but it worked. Yep. I have to keep the tongue right. I steer with my tongue when I do stuff like that, so it's kind of, yep.
I've never heard of it said that way before, but
Oh
okay,
no,
cool.
that's in Sweden we always say that you steer with your tongue when you're uncertain of
Nice.
things, and you guide yourself. Yeah, you steer with your tongue. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice, nice. All right, get my other seam, and then I should be able to unwrap these and get them ready for texturing.
Yep.
Yay!
And
Oh
then I
boy.
have to add my forest and stuff on this bit, but I'll work with that in a little bit. I'm so happy that I can just import things in. Now I'm going to do a real fun bit. I'm going to import Bogford and see, because I've actually changed the map here, so we need to see where the heck Bogford actually ends up here. So that's the thing here. So now I can go in here, and that was the wrong map. It's this one has Bogford, so now I need to go in here, and there should be a civilization layer here somewhere. There's a civilization layer. Do, do, do. There is Bogford. Okay. So here I'm going to go in and put that in there.
Um,
There's one little thingy there too.
no,
So
no, no, don't do that.
so what I do here, then I use the Alt and click on the mask, because that way I can take the mask in here. So I'm going to copy the mask, and then I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to just add it on the top as a mask or as a regular layer. So there we go. And in order to see what I'm doing here, I'm going to turn that one into lighten, because then you get that white. So everything that is brighter than the underlying texture actually works. So now I can go in and manually place it here where I want it. So now I need to figure it out here. So we have, I think that was I think it was there to begin. No, it wasn't. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll. Now comes the tricky bit here. So, yeah. Okay. Go in here.
All right, those are
Add
ready to go.
forests. And add shading. There we go. Add shading. So it actually that bit here. Okay, that is weird. Oh, okay, it's up there. So it's somewhere around here. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So I need to redo it here. So I need to, yeah. I need to redo Bogford. That's the thing, because the terrain have actually changed here. So yeah. This is kind of tricky.
Circle and
Yep,
60.
this is kind of, yep. Now I'm thinking an hour and a half. I've been doing a lot today, so I'm not happy with that. I'm just sorry that we are not more company. So in
I'm
what
the
we're
one who's
doing.
lost in thought here.
Yeah, me
So,
too. I'm kind of, this is tricky. I have the problem is that I have this map here that is actually different from, so it because I when I redid the terrain, everything ended up looking different. So that means that it the stuff that I did before need to, so I have it. I just need to redo Bogford. So I'm just gonna call it Old Bogford, and then be done with it for the moment and just turn it off right now. Uh, and then work with, and I'm going to turn off forests too. There we go. And then work with the basic textures here instead. And now time to turn off civilization, shading. we have a river layer here too? Oh, the rivers were part of it, so okay. Now I need to copy the other bit here too. Deselect. And just select the whole bunch here and basically just do this bit here. Copy merged. Then go in here and there we go. And then just copy that and stop this and then go in here and see what we got here.
Yeah, I'm so deep in thought tonight, I'm not even saying hardly anything. It's like,
Yeah,
ooh.
we're working effective. So now you see what we actually do when we work. We kind of, yeah, we sit in our own thought and just work and work here. So we're not much of a company, but yeah.
We do that every once in a while when we're working together outside the stream too.
Oh
We'll be
yeah, oh
working
yeah.
away and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll say, "Are you still there?"
Yep.
Yep, yep, I'm still here. But that's what they say. That's a sign of creativity is when you get so deep in thought you don't even pay attention. At
Yeah.
least that's what I've heard in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make scale. Mhm. Yep, every one of these drawings is a little bit crooked.
It's less than a pixel, so I'm not going to bother. Okay, let's do 100%. Follow my rules here, and it is 1 pixel. It is more than a pixel. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just trying to align it here. So I'm going to. There we go. And then I'm going to hide it. Okay, and then put on shading again. And now I can go in here and paint over some of the ugly bits here. Hide these bits, and now I need a much bigger brush. There we go. Now I need to take a look here and see again. I need something that is no hardness. That's the one. Where had that been? I've been wondering. It's a transfer and smoothing. That's the one. Okay. I wonder that function. I've been looking when I was looking for that before. I couldn't find it. Now I'm
Where
like,
did it
okay,
go?
yep. Now I can like, okay, it's there. So yeah.
Okay, almost there. Scale.
And now I'm going to take like 100 here and just paint over these bits here. There we go.
Do this differently. I'm gonna go from here up to there, roughly, and scale. So I get nice straight edges.
There we go.
Grr. Don't do that. Scale. Okay, and then now I gotta do the top. Mm. Let's see, I want to do upscale it down, and then I want to bevel the top. Come on, bevel.
Yeah.
you want to bevel in on yourself. Okay, fine, be that way. Mm,
I'm going to hide that bit there. That because that didn't work that well, so I need to rebuild that some other way. What about this area? Yeah, I kind of like that. That is good. So I'm going to... Perfect. Yep. There's a bit more cliffs and stuff. Oh, that was... oh, skip that bit. Yep. Okay.
that's what I wanted to do. Perfect.
Okay. This was much faster than I thought. I thought this will take a long time to fix that, but it actually didn't take that long at all. Okay, now I'm going to save again. And then I'm going to take Syrian Keep and stuff in here where we are actually at and put that in here too. That will be so cool. I can move and just do the next bit and the next bit and the next bit. I can probably do
The
an 8K area in 5 hours when I'm up and running. I can probably do this in 4 or 5 hours and do it an area. I think so. Yeah, in a
Syrian
day.
Keep, the Syrian Keep is where the devil goats were, right?
That's where you are now.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying that's where the devil goats were before
Yeah.
we let them
Mm-hmm.
loose.
Zombie goats. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The zombie goats before we
Yeah,
let
the
them
devil
loose.
goats.
Yep,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
yep, yep, yep. Mm. All right. I can never keep track of facts in that campaign. There's just too many coming at me. It's like, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Now I'm
So
going to go in here and
do this.
deselect. And now we're going to take Syrian Keep. Go in here and there we go. Oh, there's some buildings there too. Anyway, now I'm going to take these, copy, and go in here. Paste. Perfect. And then I'm going to do lighten, and then it is time to move in here, and then change. Make sure I get them in the right spot, and then we are good here. Okay. I think somewhere around here.
That's colorful. Let's go this. Mesh. Let's reset vectors. There we go. Much better. And
Yeah, I think
edges.
that's where they should be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sharp.
So now I'm going to change that to normal. And then I'm going to Syrian Keep, lock it down, and then go out here on the limb here. There we go. Now it's time to control click and select it, inverse, then fill the rest with black. There we go. Oops, that was the wrong layer selected. Undo paint bucket, that's the one. And there we go. Deselect. Okay, now I need to go in here and color range. Okay, and then go here, and there should be a civilization, and there should be that color range. Now I can go in here and use the pencil tool again, turn off all the scattering and stuff, and then just, oops, paint these in here. And I don't get any effect whatsoever. That's because of, that's why. So I need to go in here, deselect, and then I need to just take that whole area and create, say I want more. And here is the autofill perfect for this. We just go in here and autofill it. Perfect. Deselect, then I go into Syrian Keep again. Select that one. Turn it off, and then go to Civilization. And now I can paint it in, and it should hopefully work. Yep, I think it should do. So I just go in here and, yep. So, and I deselect, and I have my now I just need to go in here and paint over the ugly bits here. So I should repaint the, use a little brush tool, tiny little brush tool, because the cool bit is, since they are now a mask, I can go in and repaint the color of certain things. So I want the more grayish, for instance, here. So I'm going to go in here and do like a 30%, and I'm actually going to paint the walls of the, going to paint in the walls here, so they're actually a bit more grayish.
Pardon me, guys, I may yawn, but I've been at the computer all day today working on stuff.
Yep. So there we go. Now I have that in. Now it's time to do the roads bit. So I can save that bit here. I see that some of these areas are a little bit too reddish, so I'm going to tweak them a bit greener, but that's something I can easily go in and fix afterwards a bit. So I'm going to tweak them back and forth a bit, and we need to add the forest for this bit here too, but I'm going to add the roads. So I'm going to go in here, and that was that bit. Deselect, and now it is time to look at the roads, do the same thing, turn the roads on, and here we have the roads. There we go. Now I can, there's some weird roads somewhere else there too, so can skip those roads. I'm going to take all the roads, copy, and then it's time to go in here. And this is how you get tons of layers, is that you lighten, do lighten instead. There we go. So now I just need to go in here and zoom in and go around until I get this road layer to actually match the one that is in there already. Then I know I have it in the right spot. Then I can actually go in and replace one with the other. I think that's pretty much it. There we go. Lock it there. Take oats. Turn it into normal. And it's time to, first what I do, roads, there we go. So I control click and then I inverse my selection, make sure I get pure black, fill it up, make sure that it's actually on the right layer, deselect, and I'm good. I can save this again. Have you lost everyone? Let's see here. Oh,
Nope,
14.
they're
We
still
have
here.
14 viewers, and they have not been bored to death from us working on this. I need
I
to
hope
drink
not,
something.
because I'm just working away over here.
Oh,
I'm
me
not even
too.
paying
I've
attention to
been
anything.
very productive now. So now I'm in the
Yep.
zone here. So I'm.
Well, I'm so glad you guys are sticking with us because
Mm-hmm.
both of us tend to get in our little zones and we just totally work.
Yep. Now I'm in
So,
hyper mode when it comes to Photoshop. I'm doing really effective, and this is really tricky Photoshop work. This is difficult patching. I'm going to put in things from another file that has the same resolution, but it is True
perfect,
Malloy.
true. Yep.
Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi to us. Awesome. Yeah, so this is really tricky. I'm taking things from a previous map and I want to have it in here and need it to match. It's much easier to just create from the start, so to speak. So, yeah. Okay, awesome, Mike.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, we need to
Like,
chat tomorrow too, Mike. Yep.
hmm
Okay, so now I have a roads layer. So first I need to turn that off and then disable the layer mask and then just go in here and create the other side here. Take that part, make sure I'm on the right layer. I'm not. There, I'm on the right layer, and go in here and fill. And this is why I don't want to work on too large of an area at one go, in one go. So I'm working on a little bit at a time, because then I can use Photoshop to its full potential, so to speak. I don't need to worry about it's being too slow or it can't handle this. So I'm working basically on 8K, and then I add another 8K, and then I remove the first 8K, and then go on bit by bit like this. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to do a thing here. So I'm going to go to roads here, and then I'm going to select color range, select the white, and then I'm going to delete that one. And now I'm going to create, okay. There, I think we should have roads now that are all in the proper spot. Yes. And the good thing is now I should actually find out where Bogford is simply by where the roads are. Yep.
what, you don't remember where Bogford is?
Well, the thing is, I've redone the map here, so I need to move Bogford around. I remember I warned you saying that this is temporary, might be changes, and this is actually
Hmm.
where there are changes.
Okay,
So I
okay.
need to so if you come back to, I will use the old map for you guys, and then there will be an earthquake and a redone if we come back later in a future campaign or something. So, or there will, yeah, I will try and make it look very similar. So it will look, yeah, it will look. I will try and recreate it just slightly different. So it will be. I will try my best to do it exactly the way it should look before. But so there is this area between old and up and down here. It's a little bit different. So slightly different.
I'm just giving you grief. You
Oh,
know that.
I know, but
I
and I
gotta
knew I
pick
could
on
run
you.
into this problem when I had to
Let's
uh,
see. GSV.
redo the map, so to speak, because when we started working on it, it was very much an experimentation. So it was an experimental map. So now we need to
Huh.
see if this part here works,
Let's see. I need to do
and the
this.
roads should of course be
Scale
uh,
down.
the building should of course be above the roads. There we go.
Scales. See.
Yeah, it works.
There we go. And I want to join
And now I can see that the
all three of these
buildings
together.
are,
File. Save. My work is all rinse and repeat with different shapes, so it's nothing exciting, that's for sure.
yeah. Now I need to, now I can actually move the thing here a bit. So I need to move Syrian Keep just a tad here. There we go. Oops. Okay.
Oh, wait. Go back to
Light, and
do
there we
what you're
go. It's
supposed to
not,
do there.
that's the go.
Subdivide and
There is the right spot
perspective
for
mode
it.
again. Dang it. There we go.
Yep. There is the right spot, I think. So I need to, yeah, that's the right spot. So now I need to lock that again. And I need to go in here,
Alright, so
pencil
origin
tool, and then I
to
go in here and
geometry.
actually paint it away again. And then I take Syrian Keep, take it normal, and select color. There we go. And deselect, and then I go in here. And now it is exactly in the spot it was before.
Why are you
Yep,
jumping?
there we go. Now it's exactly where I had it from the beginning. So yeah. Now we just need to rearrange the roads here a little bit and work on that part. Okay, time to save again here. And what time do we have? 1:56. So it's 2 hours.
Holy cow.
Oh wow, yeah, this has been intense 2 hours. But I've done, I worked really. I've done a lot of progress in 2 hours. If I can work this effectively per day, I can do a lot.
Hmm? Well, the thing is, we're here for each other, but we're not interrupting each other. That's the thing.
We making sure the other one doesn't run away and squirrel away and do something else.
Uh,
So yeah,
Trouble is, we squirrel together. That's the
yeah,
problem.
that's the problem. Yeah, occasionally, but
When we
I
do
actually,
squirrel, it's together usually.
yeah,
And we're
no,
like,
but I
uh-oh.
squirrel more when you're not here. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's much better
I
to
do
have
too.
you because you tell me like, oh come on, we need to work again. So
Yeah, and just if Claire is still in here, she knows how bad I squirrel.
yeah, but no,
She
no.
was lurking, so I don't know if
Oh,
she's still
okay.
here or not.
Yep,
But
I can.
yeah, I squirrel constantly. So,
Yeah, me too. Yep.
but I have some exciting news.
Okay.
Um, I was asked by the store I work for, Little Big Wars, to be a professional DM for them.
Oh,
So to
that's
do
awesome.
paid DMing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. What
Yeah,
the hell happened there?
that is so
Um,
cool.
yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I can't say I'm professional. I'm just turned my prep over prepping habit into a career, but I'm not never been a paid DM, but I've been
I never have either, so it's kind of scary for me, but I think
oh
it's exciting all the
you will
same.
do a good job, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity for me.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, why? That's where I want to go. And
And
then
I
I'm going to
yeah,
cheat
I need to
and
clean this up a
get
bit
all
here. So
this
yeah.
stuff here. Let's see, do this. And I see I lost part of my mesh, so now I have to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Doggone it. What the heck? I
Okay,
can go
now I
back
can
and
import the bogs there. I can import the bogs. The other one it is. Oop, that was the wrong one.
I
This is
don't
the
have
one.
anything.
It's X5Y3.
Okay, so Shift D,
X5Y3.
rotate Z,
Place
come on,
embedded.
rotate, rotate Z, and then G, Y.
Let's see here.
Bam, fixed. Next week, I'm hoping to have some more exciting stuff to do because I was watching a video of a group that does a lot of like Warhammer minis, and they've developed a way to do procedural dungeon floors
Yeah.
that I want to look and see how they did it because I haven't had time to sit down and look at it, but it looks like it's amazing because they were just grabbing an edge and just dragging it out to a new block. And it was like, oh my, it had all the texturing and everything randomly placed. And it was like, oh, I need to learn how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I'll have time this week to get that tested and see if I can do it or not. It's all procedural geometry, and I have no idea how to do procedural
Yeah.
geometry. Um, but it's done in Blender, and if you're wondering, it's called the Artisans of Vaul, Vaul, if anybody does Blender besides me in here.
Oh.
Um, they are a phenomenal group of younger people that are doing models for, like I said, Warhammer and thing, but they have a lot of techniques and things that work well. They don't focus on the stylized. They go for hyper realistic because they make a lot of 3D models for
Mm-hmm.
3D printing.
Yeah.
So they very, very carefully do their stuff and they, find the proper way to do things. So I'm excited about doing that too.
Yeah.
So I wish I could, I just can't wrap my brain around the whole procedural generated stuff. My brain just goes, especially in Blender because you have to learn special terminology and stuff. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let
Yeah.
somebody else tell me how to do it and then I'll just copy them.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because my brain just goes, nope, don't think so. Are we off round? Yes, we are. How is that going to be fixed? Hmm. Maybe I'll have to fix it the other way anyway. Doggone it, yes, I will. All right. Well, time to get out the erase and fix tools because this did not work like I wanted it to. It stretched it.
This is deciduous. There we go. Okay, so now I can do here and just go in and use select,
Delete
use color
vertices.
range.
All right, now
I'm going to
select. Really, I just had to delete that one too. Try it again. Delete vertices. There we go.
now I'm going to
Now
test and see how this works.
do that and back to my front view. Extrude Z. Extrude Z. Scale. Extrude Z. There. Fixed. Save. Okay, now back to what I was doing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to be running mostly Midgard, I think, at the shop
Okay.
because
Yeah.
they want they're going to temporarily focus only on 5e until Black Flag and those are released,
Yeah.
and then they want me to learn the new system. So, but I told them, I said I only want to run Midgard. I said because of the fact that's what I know,
Mm-hmm.
and I said I just don't have the time to do a custom campaign right now. So
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So now I need to do. I need to the disable layer mask. There we go. So now I need to go in here and fill up the. I wonder why I couldn't paint forest, but it's because the forest texture is only on the eastern half here. So now I need to.
there, much better.
There we go, and then I'll
Okay, file, save,
fill that with the same texture on the other side.
do that,
This is
and
something Photoshop is really good at, just filling in stuff like this, especially when it's just like a forest texture. It's nothing fancy.
are you
And
doing like the fill command?
yep,
Uh-huh, I thought
and
so.
then I just do this, and the reason they don't look the same is because I have a bump layer on top here. So now I can actually fill in the bump layer here too. And it still looks different because this I need to fill this with white. There we go. It's still okay. Well, I'll live with that. Yep. And now I go in here, and now I can try this and see if I can select all the. I go in here and select color range. This is tricky and see if this works. And then I can go in here and paint in the bits I want. So we'll see if this actually. Oh yes, it did work.
You sound surprised.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I never thought this would really work that well, but it kind of did. So I can just go in here and paint over the ugly bits here, and we'll just fill it in and see what happens.
Hmm?
Yeah, it kind of. Here I get the same stuff we had last time. So yeah. Oh, do I want that bit there? Okay, I do want that bit there. Okay, well, I want that bit then.
Alrighty. Mark sharp and a couple more little things, and that one will be ready to go too. Oops.
And here I have some stuff to do down there. Quite a bit of work to do there. So I'm going to. And
Mark
this
sharp.
bit doesn't
Okay.
work, so I'm going to actually remove them. Do I have some texture
And
stuff in there?
okay.
Shape dynamics, skip that bit.
Object.
So
It's smooth.
I don't want any shape dynamics here.
Boy, what happened there?
There's some individual trees left there, so I'm going
I
to
need to do
skip that bit
object.
here,
Nope,
and
nope.
then I'm going to.
Here.
Oh, that
A
didn't work either. So I'm.
mesh.
Yep,
Normal.
this was what I thought was going to happen.
Reset. There we go. That's better. Now we'll do
I
some
think this bit here works fairly well. Yep,
things
it
here
does.
and a few loops here.
This bit here works kind of. Yeah, it kind of works. This bit here doesn't really. No, I need to tweak that bit.
And the reason I'm adding all these circles or the splits here to this big long panel is to keep the texture from stretching. If you don't do it, you get really, really ugly textures. It'll look like somebody took Play-Doh and just went with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that's not a good thing when you're doing 3D. It's like you
Okay.
want to avoid that if you can,
Yeah.
unless you're intentionally looking for that thing, of course. But I'm not looking for a totally crazy looking texture. So let's see,
There we
scale
go.
Y and make sure they're straight and move it over just a little bit.
So now I'm going to do the same, but for the, I'm going to turn on these, and there I have forest evergreen. So now I'm going to do the same thing on them. Select color range, the whole shebang. There we go. Turn off, go in here, and then start at the top here. Oh, stupid me, I need to do the same thing. I need to add the texture and all that bit that I did on the other one. Forgot about that bit. So disable, and yep, need to
All
do all
right.
that bit.
It's got a seam, it's got that. All I have to do with these now is to unwrap them for the textures.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good.
Inverse and fill. There we go.
So I got five pillars done.
Okay.
Pillars, toppers, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
These little guys down here on the bottom are dual post text
Mm-hmm.
toppers, and then spindles, and then staircase
Wow.
spindles.
And I've done
But
almost 500 square miles of mapping at porta potty scale today. So not.
oh my, you've been busy.
Yeah, I've done. And it's tricky because it's the problem. The reason I'm not done yet is that I importing stuff that I already have done. If I just done it freehand from the start, it would have been much faster and easier. This is actually
Hmm.
trickier, so to speak, to do when you. Okay, there we go.
Yep. So all I have to do now with these is unwrap each one and export them as an FBX, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
have them ready
Yeah.
to go in Unreal.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yep. And I just need to do each one separately, which I'll have to save it as an FBX file, export it, bring it into Unreal or into Blender again,
Yeah.
recenter it, apply a texture, and I'll be good to go.
Okay.
So
Yeah. And
if I
now,
was staying in Blender, it wouldn't be a big thing. I just slap a texture on it. But since I'm taking it to Unreal, I need to make sure that it's done the proper way. So,
yep. Mm-hmm.
but
Now,
yeah, I did pretty good for 2 hours worth of work.
yeah, me too. Now I feel like I just need to add this because I hate these when it's straight lines that I can see from a mile away that it's, and that I need to fix that lake thingy there. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna add these that I know need to be there and see. Oh yeah, that at least I can do a majority of the parts here. So there I can add some. Yeah, there are some trees in Shieldlands. It's not that many, but there are some trees, especially up here in the hills, where it's difficult to go and get them and
Mhm.
chop them down. So that's why they have a tendency of. And they also grow because it's more humid up there. Because when you're up closer to the clouds, when there's more mist and stuff up there in the hills generated, so that's why there's often more trees up on the hills, both because it's more difficult for humans to go and get them up there, and also because they're closer to weather. So that means that there are
Mhm.
more clouds and stuff. So sometimes it's way more, especially in dry areas like deserts and stuff like that. There is often more trees and bushes up on the hills rather than down on the plains because then they get more moisture up there.
Now you're coloring in a mask, right? You've masked this ahead of time, and then
Exactly.
now you're
Yes.
just
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
color.
So if
Okay.
I take it away, so you see here's the
Hmm. was just
color.
wondering how you could go so quickly across,
Oh
and then I
yeah, yep,
realized, you're using a mask.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So
Yep.
so that's the cool thing.
Yep.
I put the texture in first, and then I just mask it, paint on and off, because you
Hmm.
see here I have some areas here that are lakey stuffs here, and
Yep.
you see they're out in the lake. So what I can do, I can go in here, and if I want to keep the lakes like this one, I want to keep. So then I go in here and I can paint them away here in the lake.
In the lake layer.
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll manually go in and remove them, because normally I would have a max forest mask, and I'm going to, I should put that in there, I guess. Uh, that's probably a good idea, because then I automatically get removed. But yeah, that's probably a good idea. So I'll try to do that at the end here. So what we have here,
Hmm.
I have uh, there we go, forest. So I'll go in here, and first I deselect here. I click on that 6.3, and then I just do click like this, and I copy that one. I go back in here because I have a forest max here. That's the one that I have the max where trees can theoretically grow, so to speak, meaning not on lakes and rivers, and not when the slope is more than 45 degrees and stuff. So I
Hmm.
have these areas that
Hmm.
are tree max. So now what I can do is that I can post in the other added mask here. So what I'll do, I'll select that one, inverse the selection because now I told it to, and then I paste it in, and I of course selected the wrong one, so undo paste, go back in here, and it's actually that one. So deselect, that's the one I need to have. So I'll click on that one instead, copy, go back in here, and it should be selected. So now I should just go in and paste. Boom, it's in the right spot. And now I can go in here and I can just select these two and merge them together. And I have my tree max layer, and I'm going to rename it tree max. There we go. And now what I can do is that I can click that one, and it should, yeah, it should be. So now I take all these and I copy it again, and now I go in forest here, create a layer mask for the forest thingy, and then I alt click, paste, paste in place. And now that should be, if I remove that one, now there should be automatically no trees in the lakes. And if I go here, yes, they all disappeared.
Holy crap.
Yep, that's how you
Wow.
do, that's how you edit quickly. So I generate these masks in, here is a mask in that I've generated in World Machine.
Hmm.
I've figured out in World Machine, I programmed where trees can grow physically. You see, there's rivers here have, and there's like all there's certain areas where I don't want trees, and then I mask them out like lakes and stuff. And that way, all I need to do is to just add it as an overlaying mask on all the forest layers, and whatever I
Hmm.
paint, that will not be a tree. So what I can do here is I can go in an evergreen and say I want more trees around here, so I can go in here and I can just add a whole bunch of trees here. But you see, there will be no trees on the lake whatever I paint, because that
Wow.
mask is there. So I don't need to worry. I can just add trees, but they will not grow in areas where trees would not grow, like on almost vertical slopes. They will not grow middle of rivers or on lakes and stuff, in lakes. So
Nice.
so that's
Nice.
the beauty of having the right mask, speed things up tremendously over time. And since in World Machine it's you program once, and then you just it you can just use it for, it saves me hours of work down the line
Hmm.
to
Looks like it.
yep, to do stuff like this. So that's the beauty of it. So now I can actually go in and paint in much faster the other stuff. So now I'm going to save and say that I've done a good evenings of work here. So yeah.
Yep, because we're at 217.
Yeah,
So almost
217. So
218.
yep.
Yep. Yeah, because I was watching you the last 10 minutes. I'm just like, holy crap.
Yep. So
My
that
eyes were like boggled trying to
yeah.
keep up with you. So,
And the in forest here I have like an over I have a group with a mask with two undergroups and layers under each of them. So they are nested on top of each other, each with masks. So I have an overarching mask, and then I have a mask for each subgroup, and then I have adjustment layers and bump layers and stuff like that under. So it
hmm
is kind of a whole little thing there. But
wow.
when you have you can put a mask on a mask on a mask in Photoshop.
hmm
So that's the beauty of it. So yeah,
Nice, nice, nice.
yeah,
Well, I think we both got a decent amount of stuff done.
yeah.
You know,
No, I need
mine
to.
wasn't that difficult to do, but it's, just
Hmm.
knowing how to do it. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know?
And unfortunately, we will be no game on Sunday because we will not have enough. Our regular game will have been we couldn't game last weekend, so and this
Yep.
weekend we were not supposed to, but we said maybe we can run, but now we figure out that okay,
Yeah, I
yeah,
won't be here. I
yeah,
got to do some time with my
hmm
family.
yeah.
So,
So that way we skip it to next weekend, so I get a chance to
yep.
then I can catch up and do more of this mapping, so there will be more area to move around in and do stuff in.
hmm
So yeah,
Yep.
so that's the
Yeah,
good
because
thing.
my family is like, we never see you on the weekends. Hello.
Yeah.
Like, okay, okay, I get it, I get it.
Yep.
So, so yeah, I got to spend some time with the fam family.
Yep,
So,
and there is no gabbing on Sunday in Lord Gusumba channel because there's Super Bowl. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Super Bowl, and there will be gabbing on Monday, I think. So yep.
oh my goodness, you
Instead,
get a day off?
yeah, I get a whole weekend off again. This is weird. So yep,
Wow.
this is
Yeah.
weird. So yep.
You have to do some gaming this weekend then.
Well, yeah, and I do a little bit of flight simming. So I will do one
Yeah,
hour of
yeah.
flight simming tomorrow and 1 hour of flight simming or two on Sunday, just to
hmm
celebrate that I have a weekend off and do a little bit of extra hiking or something. So
Yep,
yeah.
yep. hmm
Okay, but thank you everyone who we all still have 9 people here, so that's amazing that we have that many that kept up, so to speak. So
hmm
thank you everyone for coming, and then yeah, we'll see. I'll be on Monday again on Lord Gusumba, and then we will have a Legends and Lore show on Wednesday, and then hopefully we'll have another mapping live stream on Friday again. So
hmm
okay, so good night everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yep. Bye, guys.